Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'll be doing an unboxing of the Moto E 2020 for Straight Talk Wireless. Okay, so the Moto E 2020 is a phone that you can buy right now for a really inexpensive price. Now, when this phone came out on Straight Talk, retail was $99. Now, I picked mine up on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, somewhere along in there for only $39. Now, even after that sale went off, the price only went up to $59. So what you're getting here, that's a fantastic price for this newer phone here released on Straight Talk. Now, open the flap up here. You'll see the device, some specs I'll give you here in a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and take this phone out of the box. Okay, so let's go ahead here and we will remove the phone, put it to the side for a moment, and we'll see what does come here in the box. So you just have your regular Straight Talk terms and conditions, your quick start guide. You got your, it's like a standard charger here. And let's see if it's micro USB. Yes, it's micro USB. But for the price, you know, $59 right now. Not too bad. And of course your SIM ejector tool there. So let's go ahead, put all this away, and we'll look at the phone. Okay, so with phone in hand, let's take a look around the phone here. On the back, you do got your dual camera set up with your flash, fingerprint scanner, your track phone, Straight Talk logo. That's on all these phones. On the right here, you got a texture power button with your volume rocker. On top, you got a headphone jack and your secondary microphone. On the left of the device, you have your SD and SIM removal tray there. Now these phones come with a pre-installed SIM card, so there's not a SIM card in the box. It's pre-installed inside your device. Now on the bottom, you do have your bottom firing speaker, micro USB charging port, and your microphone. Go ahead and peel off this front protector here. Got a 6.2 inch HD 720 by 1560 display with your little teardrop notch and your receiver. Go ahead and boot this phone up. Alright, so I'll get into the specs and all that here when the phone is set up. And you can see the bezels down there on the bottom and the top. Not a big deal for me. I know some won't like that. However, for the price point, it's not really a big deal here. So I'll go ahead, get it all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're all set up now and ready to go. Now let's check out that fingerprint scanner. Got it all set up, and the fingerprint scanner is not the fastest. However, it is very accurate and it opens up every single time, so no issues there. Now, giving you some of the specs of the phone. This phone does have 6.2 inch IPS LCD display at 720 by 1520 with a 19 by 9 aspect ratio. As far as the processor, this phone runs the Qualcomm Snapdragon 632 octa-core processor with an Adreno 506 GPU. So budget processor going on here. This phone does have 2 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of onboard storage. The cameras. The main camera is a 13 megapixel lens with an aperture of f2.0 with a 2 megapixel depth sensor at aperture of f2.2. The front is a 5 megapixel camera with an aperture of f2.0, and both record at full 1080 front and rear. The battery is a 3550 milliamp hour non-removable battery. It has Wi-Fi 802.11 ABGN dual band with hotspot, Bluetooth 4.2, micro USB 2.0. This phone does run Android version 10, and that's about all that's said about this phone right now. Now, at the retail price of this phone being $100, I would say that the RAM being 2 gigabytes was a little low, but being on sale for $59, or maybe even the regular price now, $59 for this phone, you know, for what you're getting, dual cameras, fingerprint scanner, a nice, 6.2 inch 720p display, bottom firing speaker, I'm guessing decent cameras, storage 32 gigabytes, you're getting the Snapdragon 632 processor. So I think for $59, you're getting a really nice package here in the Moto E 2020. So just kind of looking around the phone here a little bit, very basic, very stock here. You got an FM radio. I mean, pretty basic stuff here, which what you like to see here on these Moto devices. Pull the drop down here. Typical stuff, your flashlight, your airplane mode. I mean, nothing new here. Screencast. The settings here, I'll go in here for just a brief moment. Now, there's no NFC, nothing like that here on this device. Battery, like I said, 3550 milliamp hour battery, so it should be an all-day battery here for for most of your usage. For the display, got your night light, adaptive brightness, got your peak display here. In advanced, you got dark theme. Well, that's full screen, but we got dark theme here. So dark theme's always a nice look. I like that a lot better. Screen timeout, colors, you got saturated, boosted, or natural. Typical stuff you see in all Moto devices. Screenshot toolkit, 3-finger screenshot, attempt display, lock screen display, all that kind of good stuff there. Now, this phone does feel rather smooth. I mean, just the transitions I'm feeling right now does feel pretty nice. Storage, 12.14 gigabytes has been used out of 32 gigs. I think that's a lot of storage. I mean, 12 gigabytes in the system. I mean, come on, stock Android here, but it's 12 gigabytes taken up by the system. I think that's a little ridiculous, in my personal opinion, but you know my feelings on that. So anyway, for security, you have your screen lock, your fingerprint, smart lock, pretty much all there is to it there. Google account, accessibility, system. You have your adaptive performance here, so that will improve RAM efficiency when turned on. You have your gestures here, swipe fingerprint for notifications, double press power key to launch camera, system navigation, which I got the swipe feature, but you can go back to the 3-button navigation, which, of course, if you prefer the back, home, and recents button, you can do that there. Fast flashlight by the Chop Emotion. So yeah, flashlight, and there we go. 3-finger screenshot and all that kind of good stuff there. And that's about it. Of course, it may have a system update. It is Android version 10 here on this device. So that's pretty much all there is to it here with the device. The camera, just for a brief moment, we'll go in here and see what we can record in and stuff like that. You got all of your different stuff here going on. So in photo mode, you got your automatic mode, manual mode. Into the settings here, 13 megapixel camera, ratio 4:3, 16:9, or 19:9, and all that kind of good stuff there. For video size, you can record in full HD at 60 frames per second, so that's kind of a nice touch there. Of course, no 4K. This phone is, well under $100, so the front-facing camera, of course, is a 5 megapixel, and you can record in full HD 19:9, or in HD 720. Back to the settings here for a moment. Selfie photo mirror, yeah. Leveler, watermark, typical stuff here. Now here for the modes, got portrait mode, cutout, spot color, panorama, live filter, time lapse, and slow motion. So just your basic layout here for the camera. I mean, it's nice to see, a full HD 60 frames. If you prefer to use 60 frames per second, you can do it with the Moto E2020. I mean, this phone costs $60 right at Walmart.com. For Straight Talk Wireless. I mean, that's a really good deal. And I mean, yes, it's made out of plastic, but really, who cares? You got a glass display here, fingerprint scanner on the rear that seems to work just fine. I mean, the phone does feel nice and smooth here right out of the box, of course. I'll run some tests on it, play some games on it to see how it does overall. I know some won't like them bezels on the bottom and the top, but honestly, for the price point, there's really no room for complaints here with this device, okay? But overall, I mean, for the price point of $60, I don't think you can go wrong here with this phone. But I will do some updates with the Moto E2020, including some camera samples, some video samples, some game tests, and just a follow-up video here on this phone. But right now, like I said, at the time of this video, Thursday, December the 10th, $59, Walmart.com for Straight Talk Wireless. So if it's helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions you may have, leave it down below. Upload every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Sometimes they get a little off schedule, but for the most part, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So if you're new around here, be sure and subscribe. Hit the notifications. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.